What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to a new episode of the New in Real Estate podcast. In today's episode, I want to talk about 3 things that you need to be doing as a new real estate agent. Now, in previous episodes, I have talked about how usually when you're new, you're super excited, you have all of these goals, and eventually once you start putting in the work of making the calls or hitting the doors, and you see that things are not converting as fast as you thought that they would, you kind of start to get discouraged. So what I want to focus on today are the 3 things that you need to be doing in order to stay focused and also to hopefully achieve those goals that you have set for yourself. So the very first thing that you need to be doing, especially when you're brand new, is that you always have to be learning. Whether you are at a certain brokerage or maybe you're watching my videos or other agents online, you always have to be learning about the business. Not just that, but learning about what it is that you need to do to be successful. There's no point in reinventing the wheel when there are successful top producing agents that have pretty much laid out everything that they have done in the past. That way you can go ahead and do it the same way that they have done it. A YouTube channel that I absolutely love to watch is by Mike Ferry. He is always posting some great content. And the best thing is also that he has his website. I think it's mikeferry.org, where if you create an account, which is completely free, you can easily access a whole bunch of different resources that he has, like scripts, objection handlers, business planners. Whatever it is that can help you in your business, he has it accessible on his website. So definitely check that out if you haven't already. But yeah, Mike Ferry is definitely someone that I would recommend for you to watch. And along with him, there are so many other real estate agents on YouTube. Maybe you're watching me, and that's great that you are, because I do post a lot of great information of things you should and should not be doing as a new real estate agent. So you always want to be learning. What is it that you have to do when it comes to prospecting, to lead generation, to working with buyers and sellers? What are some things that you absolutely have to do? And what are some things that you absolutely have to avoid? You want to be taking notes of all of these things, because this is what's going to help you become a solid, successful agent later on in the future. Along with that, with the learning and training, you always want to stay up to date when it comes to contracts and learning terms, whether it's through trainings that your brokerage has or maybe trainings at your association of realtors. There are always so many different classes and trainings and programs available to you, so you want to make sure that you take advantage of all of these. I know for eXp Realty specifically, since that is the brokerage that I'm a part of, every Sunday afternoon, they send out a calendar for the entire week that's upcoming, where they say exactly what trainings are being held and at what time. So this helps me as an agent kind of plan out my week so that I can see exactly what trainings I want to attend and what it is that I could possibly learn that week that can help me become a better agent. The second thing that you want to be doing is role playing. I have mentioned it in many videos in the past in my main channel, where initially when I got my license, I was not really role-playing. Not role-playing to the point that I should have, where it was constantly every single day. I was role-playing in person, maybe here and there. I was role-playing with myself in front of a mirror, but I would say that does not count as role-playing. And it wasn't until I actually started to get some role play partners and speaking with different personalities and people all over the country, that's when I really started to see that, everything that I thought I knew and I thought I was good at was not good at all. So role playing is definitely something that you have to incorporate into your schedule every single day, especially in the beginning. And the reason that you want to be role playing is because this is going to give you that confidence, and also it's going to make you work on your skills and your delivery of your communication and your objection handlers. Many times when I was role playing, especially way back then, I remember role playing expires and for sale by owners. And as soon as I was done with my role-playing session and I actually started calling these leads, sometimes I would get the same objections that I had just role-played. And I remember always having like a smirk in my face because I knew exactly what to say next. And it was almost like I was waiting for those objections to be thrown at me because I knew exactly what to say. And the response of the seller many times would be exactly what I wanted them to respond, which would lead me to set an appointment. So role playing is really going to help you with your confidence, and also not just working on your objection handlers, but it's really going to help you be able to adjust yourself and your tonality and your communication to different type of personalities. When I was role playing from 7:30 a.m. to 8 a.m. every single morning. I would go to the office and I would start calling expireds at 8 o'clock in the morning. So I wanted to make sure that I would get my role playing in before that. That way my mind was already prepared and in that mindset of, you know what, I'm about to start these calls and I'm ready to just kill it and I'm ready to overcome any and all objection that is about to come my way. Next, let's say that you are learning all of these things. You are learning through YouTube videos, through your brokerage trainings. You're learning so much and you're also role playing. The key now, which is the third thing that I want to talk about, is that you actually have to be implementing everything that you learn in the sense that you have to start putting in the work, whether it's making the calls or hitting the doors. There's no point in you learning absolutely everything about real estate and learning absolutely every single objection handler and role playing it, but you're not putting it into practice with actual potential buyers and sellers. So you have to be picking up the phone and making these cold calls or hitting the doors and door knocking. Either or, you have to start generating leads and prospecting every single day. If you're not prospecting, then you're not getting anywhere. You have to remember that in this business, the more people that you talk to, the higher chances there are of you coming across someone that wants to buy or sell. If you're not having any conversations, you're not making any money. And remember, we only get paid once a deal closes. So let's say even if you are working with a buyer or a seller and you got the contract signed, let's say it's a listing, you got the listing, you still have to go through escrow and get to the closing table, which might be 30 to 45 days after you took the listing. So you're not guaranteed a paycheck until that last day, day 30 or day 45 or whatever it is. So you can never bank on having the money. I know that sometimes we get excited, especially when we get a big listing that's going to be tens of thousands of dollars. And we are already planning ahead what it is that we're going to buy or where we're going to be going to. But you can't let that kind of influence you because, again, you never know what might happen. And it has happened to me many times where I have opened escrow and either my buyer or seller no longer had a need to move forward with the transaction or something outside of our control happened and now that deal was dead. When the pandemic hit earlier this year, I was working with quite a few buyers and sellers and a handful of those just completely canceled. And that was tens of thousands of dollars of commission money that I was already thinking I was going to have, but because the pandemic came and there was so much uncertainty in the air, a lot of these buyers and sellers just decided to, you know what, pull out, not going to do anything. And my commission, see you later. So when the pandemic came, all that commission that I thought I was going to get just became a big fat zero. And it was not pretty. But you know what? I knew that I had to continue making the calls because there were still other people that needed to either buy or sell. And as you can see now, fast forward months later, we're now in December, there is an extreme abundance of buyers because they're all taking advantage of the low interest rates. And there is an extremely low amount of listings. There's no inventory. So we're seeing bidding wars. We're seeing home selling above asking price. We're seeing a lot of crazy stuff. So the point of today's episode is the three things that I just mentioned. I want you to keep in mind that you always have to be learning. You have to be sharpening your skills. You have to be learning not just about real estate, but also communication, listening, how to become a better salesperson so that you don't sound salesy or like a robot. These are things that you have to incorporate into your schedule in the beginning. Along with that, you want to be role playing. There are a lot of Facebook groups where you can just post on there if anyone is looking to role playing. It doesn't matter where they're located. But the point is to make sure that you find someone that can help you, that can give you feedback, that can give you different scenarios so that you can think exactly what it is that you would say and practice your objection handlers. And lastly, make sure that you're actually making the calls or hitting the doors. You have to start getting into the rhythm of putting yourself outside of your comfort zone, whether that means talking to strangers or maybe reaching out to old coworkers or old friends or old classmates, because it's been proven that most likely your first transactions will come from your sphere of influence. So you have to be prospecting these people, even if it means you getting outside of your comfort zone and just kind of being scared of reaching out because maybe you think that you don't know what to say, or what if they ask me a certain specific question. The point is for you to actually do it, and you're going to just learn through the process. You're not going to be perfect in the beginning right from the get-go, but as soon as you start making the calls, you're going to start to see exactly what people usually say. If you are circle prospecting or calling expireds or for sale by owners, you're always going to be encountering the same type of objections. And over time, you're going to know exactly what to say, that it's just going to become like a reflex. So with that being said, that's it for today's episode. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this one and all of the previous ones. Remember to also check out my main YouTube channel where I'm posting a lot of videos every single day. Today, I'm also releasing on my main channel a video where I am doing some role playing for sale by owners and expireds. This is something that I did with an agent. It was actually a part of a podcast that I was a part of called The Winner Circle. So I'll make sure to link the video in the description box below. That way you guys can go ahead and watch those role plays. I know it's going to be helpful for many of you. So thanks again for listening, and I'll see you on the next episode.